want to thank you for joining me on Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and Polk History Center. It's one name that's synonymous, and that would be the one, the only, the Jayme Jamison. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me yet again. I love coming over here.
Yeah. So today a little bit late in getting here, and there's a new facet to the job.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. What's going on?
We have been, I think you and I talked about this, that we have field trips, and we're always continuously promoting that. And we have been welcoming our friends from Berkeley Charter School this week. And next week we'll take a little break, and then we've got friends coming from Scott Lake Elementary, and we've got Bella Cheetah and Davenport coming to visit us. So, you know, I've had to tell you, Brian, you've got to wait. The children are the future.
I know.
They come first. They come first. So we've been hosting students, and I am just beat, but I'm here. I made it. And we're very, very, very fortunate. You know, I think one of the things that when people look at government, they sometimes might look at us as divisions, right?
Yeah.
That's the communications division, that's Parks and Rec, that's building. But more times than not, we're working together to accomplish what we want to do. And we have been so fortunate. Do you know Stacy Butterfield?
The name sounds
familiar. Yeah.
Constitutional, I
Yes,
believe.
constitutional. So our friends over at Stacy Butterfield's office, the clerk of courts, I reached out to them. I said, you know, we've got this construction going on right now. And when our students come to visit, the courtroom is one of those places where they come to live, right? I don't know if it's because they've watched a lot of Judge Judy, or, you know, you've watched a lot of Judge Judy, or Night Court, but
definitely Night Court.
Night Court, But they come alive, and with our ongoing construction, you know, every week we come into the History Center, something might be a little bit different. So I said, okay, I need some consistency. And man, they answered right away and said that they would love to partner with us to host students. So despite our ongoing construction, we've been able to continue to host our friends and our students from across Polk County.
Speaking of construction, what's going on over there?
I
notice every week or so the scaffolding keeps moving.
Yes, and so that was kind of the goal when they launched the construction project, is that we'd be able to do phases and be able to keep, you know, the History Center open and operating as much as possible throughout that time. And we are very excited. They have finished the west phase, which is right there on Broadway. And the difficult pill to swallow with that is when they went in there, we had a lot of exhibit cases covering the windows, so they couldn't get to the windows without taking the exhibit cases apart. But, you know, adaptability. We looked at it, and it has been an opportunity for us to tell some new stories there. So I am in the process right now of developing those pictures and those stories. We're enhancing our apiary study on bees. We've added some more pictures to our railroad exhibit. And what I'm really excited about is we are beefing up. You would think I was going to say our cattle exhibit.
But I like a little play on words.
Maybe this one's better. We're throwing some new lines in the water on our fishing exhibit and really enhancing the storytelling there. So, you know, with everything in life, you know, there's some things that cause you to go, oh, why has it got to be that way? But then you've got the opportunity to adapt.
Because when you're fishing, there are nothing but stories to tell.
Yes, big stories, big fish stories. So, you know, that continues to progress, and with any construction project, flexibility is the biggest key. And so we do ask our audience and our residents to be really flexible, to call us before they come down so that we can continue to meet their expectations of what they can do at the History Center. The good news is it's not impacting our programming. Do you want to know what we're doing in March?
I'm guessing. No, I don't want to guess. Because normally you let me know.
I am.
Yeah, so I can look like a genius hosting.
I was going to go on Fallon later tonight and tell him what we're doing, but I'll tell you instead. Okay. So March the 1st, we kick off with our cemetery tour. So this will be the last time that we go to Oak Hill Cemetery for this season, because then after April we'll go to Evergreen, and then we take the summer off because it is too darn hot.
Yep.
So if you are interested in touring Oak Hill Cemetery with us on Saturday, March the 1st, you just meet up at the History Center at 9 a.m. The really cool thing is that's also Bloomin' Arts in Bartow. So as we walk down to the cemetery, you'll get to walk through the Bloomin' Arts exhibits, see some of the vendors are out, and then after the tour, you can check it all out. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Bart has his architectural tour on March the 15th. He'll probably be able to give participants in that tour an update on the construction process and some of the things that we found and that we're finding out about the windows as we go through. Some really cool hardware was in the windows originally, and so we've been learning all about that. And then March the 22nd, you know Shannon Graham.
Yeah.
Graham. That's her last name, okay?
Yeah. Man, you forget somebody's name once and you just never let it go.
See, your problem was you did it to the historians.
Yeah.
And we wrote it down. We made a record of it somewhere.
Yeah.
But she is hosting for the Genealogy Speaker Series a genealogist whose specific field is utilizing court records. So she calls it analyzing court records for non-lawyers. So you don't have to have a legal background to know what documents you're looking for so that you could possibly locate an ancestor in a certain county, hopefully because they did something good and not something bad. We call those the skeletons if they did something bad. But she'll be hosting that virtually. So, you know, the good news is that no matter what's going on with the construction, none of that gets impacted.
And that's the cool thing in the event of what you guys are going through. You always have the digital stuff to fall back on.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Shannon Graham's part of it.
Yes, she is. So she works on a lot of our online database. So one of the things that we have really just all the staff at the History Center have put our heads right down to the grindstone there is getting our digital resources cleaned up and available for our residents. So one thing you can do is you can visit us on our website, polkhistorycenter.org, or under the Things to Do tab if you're on the Polk County website. And you can go to Past Perfect and you can research artifacts that we have in our collection. So if you were, I don't know, if you wanted to look and see if we had any motorcycle ephemera, you can type in motorcycle. And anything that we have that we've identified as being associated with a motorcycle, which I can think of one thing right now, will populate in that catalog. It's a picture of the mailman in Fort Meade on a Harley.
Really?
He delivered the mail on a Harley. Yeah,
Dude,
I'll
that
get
would be
to
a
you.
great job.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So he had a little newsboy cap and everything and delivered the rural mail. And then we have, so March is also Women's History Month. And on our online photograph collection, Content DM, which you can also get to from our website, we have just loaded a new album that features Miss Bernice Lyle from Bartow. And Miss Bernice Lyle is like the bee's knees. She was just super cool. Her parents were original settlers in Bartow, and she, during World War I, volunteered with the American Red Cross. And she was at several canteens in France. And her family has donated those photographs to us.
That is very cool.
It is fantastic. It shows what the canteens were like, where they were eating. She had a very different perspective about cooking when she came back from France, because cooking for 100, 200 Air Force guy or Army guys is a lot different than cooking for your family. And I think she got to see a little bit about how the sausage is made behind the scenes. And she was like, I don't think...
Nobody ever wants to see that.
No. But she also served some time at a hospital. So she has these wonderful pictures of various military men convalescing. So some of them might have leg injuries. Really fascinating one, I think he had gangrene, because in the picture his military boots are cut off right here so that his toes are not compressed in the shoe. So he's got a sock on, but on both feet the toes are cut off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that must be frostbite or trench foot or something like that from World War I. So it's just fascinating the level of nuances it brings to it. And then she also then was a teacher in Bartow. So we have lots of pictures of her at Summerlin. And then finally, during the Korean War, one of her students wrote to her because he remembered how she had always talked about her experiences overseas. And so he is on the first aircraft carrier, which my brother and my dad would be disappointed because I can't remember which one it was, but it was the first modern aircraft carrier.
I can assure you, after you leave the taping, you'll get back over to your office and
I will.
You're going to text me or email me and go, oh, by the way, that aircraft carrier.
But he went to all sorts of different ports, including what later became Yugoslavia. And so he's writing to her because he couldn't think of anyone else that would appreciate all of the nuances of the places. And so all of those are online, and our guests and our residents and non-residents, anybody with a keyboard can go and look it up. Even your friend Miles, he could go and he could look it up. Yeah.
He's the one that told me be gentle with you today, because when you walked in, he said, she's a little wild tight.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
But, you know, I bet you didn't. Miles is a history guy.
There are so many things that impressed me about Miles.
You know what Miles also told me?
What's that?
He said you wouldn't. So it's March, and I love March because it's St. Patrick's Day. I've got my yellow shoes, green shirt. I brought a hat for you to wear too.
Okay. Hey, listen, Swan Derby was just in here.
Were they?
Yeah, and normally they bring me a
bonnet?
Yeah, they bring me something. Because you know that whole Swan Derby is about the Kentucky Derby.
It is, yeah.
And you got to wear the hats. And they bring me the cool women's hats. And I've been made fun of some of the things that are on social media and YouTube. Yeah, more embarrassing ones are the hats from Swan Derby, but I wear them. So I don't know why Miles said I wouldn't wear this.
You wear them. And more importantly, the hat doesn't wear you.
Yeah, exactly.
You wear it. So, but
what movie is? You know the difference between me and you? I make this look good.
You do. You do. You take that little leprechaun hat and you make it look good. So it was funny because you asked me if I had glitter on my face when I came in. That's why I was hiding that hat from you. I was like, I don't know why, Brian.
You know, I got to work the Tigers barbecue tonight doing interviews.
Aww.
I can just see me with glitter all over.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. So speaking of the Tigers, I'll leave you with this a little bit. That's one of the exhibits that we're looking forward to getting put back together and open for everyone, because that is just a phenomenal part of Polk County's history as well.
Longest running partnership in Major League Baseball is between Polk County and the Detroit Tigers.
And we're so happy to have them, and I hope it's another 80 years.
Yep.
Yep.
Our Visit Central Florida and Visit Central Florida sports people are doing phenomenal things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That whole team at Visit Central Florida is just, I am consistently blown away by the level of activities and the amount of activities that they're able to draw to Polk County. And the Tigers are among some pretty good company.
So we got anything exciting in April we can kind of promote?
So in April, you know, we start to slow down a little bit. We've got more field trips, and we're just going to kind of be putting Humpty Dumpty back together again in April. And we really look forward to having our preserved building ready to go for the summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you next month when we talk about April and then in May, okay?
All right. Maybe I'll bring you a bunny uniform.
Ears?
Ears. Okay,
ears. There we go.
Matching ears.
Always good to see you.
Thank you, Brian.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about exhibits, events, and anything else, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call, 863-534-4386. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.